Good Friday morning to I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich, and this is your outlook for November 14th, 2014. Quick radar review over the last 24 hours or so. We had this rain move in here that changed over to snow, had some evaporational and dynamic cooling that took place, and some areas received anywhere from coating all the way up to as much as 2.5 inches were reported, but that was over the highest elevations. We had most areas receiving at or around an inch over probably, I'd say anywhere from, we'll see where this line set up here. We had anywhere in this area here, we got into the areas over an inch. So, it was just a dynamic cooling process that took place here in an evaporational cooling where we got the rates coming down hard enough where it actually would cool the air around it, and as the snowflakes fell through the air, it actually released the heat that was in the atmosphere, allowed it to cool, and those areas did get some snow accumulation. So kind of a process that this happens this time of year a lot more often than, say, in the dead of winter, just because you have those marginal temperatures, and that's what we had this evening. Areas further east as this came through here, we did have some changeover to snow, but not to the point where it was sticking very much across New Jersey, except in northwest New Jersey where they also made out pretty good. So this will be out of here today. Go to the next frame here. We're actually going to follow the Canadian model in this model review here, because we really, for the system we're talking about down the road, and we're talking about that would be taking place on Monday. I think the Canadian model, or we think the Canadian model, is handling it the best right now, and we're seeing the guidance kind of on either side of it with the European model and the GFS. So one has a snowier solution, and the European model does not. So this is the Canadian model that we're going to follow here. Here's our system exiting today, and there's going to be at the same time, this is Friday afternoon, so at the same time you're going to have high pressure that's going to move in here from the plain states. It's going to move due east like this. It's going to set up to our south here on Saturday. So very nice weather weekend, or Friday, Saturday I should say. At least Friday, Saturday will be a nice days as far as no precipitation, but it will be cold. Going to have a breezy breeze out of the northwest today with temperatures that are going to be stuck in the low 40s for many, low to mid 40s for many areas, and we're looking at the same thing for Saturday. Move ahead a little bit here. You can see the high pressure is now sitting due south here, and this is as we get into Saturday afternoon. You're going to have a system here that's sitting right out here. This is actually going to move toward northwest and not affect. It's going to move in this direction here. There's another one that's gathering. It's off the map. It's down here. It's going to be gathering and heading up the eventually coming up the coast like this. Now there's a difference of opinion with this, and which is no surprise. When we get into winter, it seems the models seem to have just total brain failure, because none of them ever agree with each other. But here's that system going to the north here on Sunday. We're going to call it mostly cloudy or increasing clouds here on Sunday. Just with this, it's far enough northwest we're not going to be affected by any precipitation, but at the same time, you could get some increase in clouds, and that's because this is looking at Sunday after late afternoon, and you already got some precipitation breaking out to the southwest here. Now at this time, your temperature below 32, at least at 850 millibars at this point northward. So any precipitation that would move in at that point would be in the form of snow to start. So I think that's what we'll be dealing with. And here is a look at the overnight hours. I got some rain moving into South Jersey here, but any precipitation that can get up in here would be in the form of snow to start. So it could be like one of those rain to start changing over to, snow to start, mixing with and changing to rain as we get through the course of the day on Monday. Now the best chance for any accumulating snow is going to be across northeastern PA, and this is going to move in here. Here's a look at Monday afternoon. And of course you have kind of an elongated low pressure system here sitting like this. You'll notice that this is a little bit closer to the coast here. It's kind of taking a path like this. It's pretty close to the coast here. So we have, here's your below freezing line at this point. So just areas to the north here, across northeastern PA, higher elevations are going to benefit from some accumulating snow, we think. Of course, this is all subject to change, but this is the best course of action we're taking right now. Most areas are going to be a chilly rain on Monday, it looks like, and then the system moves off to the northeast. GFS is one of the snowier models, and this is what this is showing here. And a little interesting look here has this same idea of the elongated low pressure, but you see it's further south and east. so the cold air is allowed to stay in place, and you get snow on the northwest side of this here, and that would be further southeast from just northeast PA and the high lower basins. We're talking about east central PA and south central PA as well, even parts of northern New Jersey getting into the action with that. So depending on which one you follow, if you want to follow the Snow East model, just be a snowhound, then fine, GFS is your model. But the European model is also warm, and it has been consistently warm. Although the European model may be holding some energy back, so it might be something we have to keep an eye on for the weekend here. And then here's what the GFS does here as far as snowfall. So if the GFS was correct, you'd have a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch snowfall across the area on Monday. But again, this is a couple days away here. We can figure this out, and so hopefully the models come to some kind of agreement in the meantime. But beyond that, one thing they are in agreement on is once we get beyond that point, it's going to get very cold. We get into Tuesday, you can see these winds here. Look at the isobars here, very close proximity to each other, so it's going to be very gusty, very breezy, very cold on Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s for highs for many locations. Wind chills are going to be easily in the 20s, with winds that are expected to be in the 15 to 25 mile per hour range with higher gusts. So it will not be a nice day out here on Tuesday. And we get into Wednesday, still remaining a little breezy, maybe slacking off a little bit. Winds turn a little bit more westerly, but we have the same cold air remaining in place. So temperatures again in the mid-30s for highs. So not a good couple days here as we get past this storm on Monday. It looks like it's going to get pretty cold, and it's we're talking about well below normal temperatures, 15 to 20 degrees below normal, what they're supposed to be at this time of year. So definitely will feel like winter. And if you're talking about a high of 36, some areas, the dead of winter, that's a normal average high in January. So it's definitely going to be a shock. We'll cover the storm that we're talking about here for Sunday night and Monday, and a little bit more detail as we go forward here once we get a little bit of handling with the models and understanding of how it's going to play out. Until then, you can look for updates on the Facebook page if we have any. Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martich. This is your outlook for November 14th, 2014. Have a great Friday.